Hi, this is Anil. Winters can be particularly distressing to the tree. Deciduous trees will lose all their leaves and they will go into hibernation mode. So they have very little energy stored and continuously produced for them to defend against any onslaught. In this uh, period of November through, I would say, March in northern hemisphere, most of the deciduous trees won't have leaves, and if left untreated, some of the trees will suffer from sun scalding. In this series of care for your trees, this is the first episode that I will cover about how to treat a tree that has already been sun scalded, or what you could do any time of the year to make sure that the tree does not get sun scalding in the winter. In the beginning of fall or middle of fall, as it is now, November mid, November end, we need to start preparing for taking care of the trees. And as you can see, this is a deciduous tree. This is a tree of beautiful fig fruits, and it has started to lose most of the leaves. And once the leaves are gone, the tree has already shed all its mechanism to go into a hibernation state, and it will consume the least amount of energy and it will sleep until the beginning of spring. But that brings one danger to the tree, which is already in the low energy mode. What has happened is the tree's leaves canopy has completely disappeared. In a typical forest, there will be other trees that will provide it a shade, but in landscape backyard gardens like ours, this tree is now directly exposed to the sun, and as a result, you will see there is a significant sun scalding. If you come closer, I can show you the effect of scalding. So as you can see over here, the bark has completely gone away, and you can see that this is the side that is facing the south, and so the sun directly shines on this and it is burning away the layers that transport the food for the rest of the tree. If you go on the other side, for example, the north side of the tree, which is where my hand is, you will see a very healthy bark, and this is because no sun scalding is taking place. And bark is the one which provides shelter to the cambium layer. Cambium layer is the living tissue that carries food from the leaves to the roots and the roots to the leaves, and so this has disappeared. So this tree is compromised. What we are going to do is, in the next few minutes, I will show you how we will protect this. The dark wood is directly absorbing the sun, directly shining onto this. The cambium layer wakes up, it sends a signal to the root saying that send me food. Root says I'm sleeping, it's too cold, and the cambium starts to die. Once the cambium dies, the bark is receding. So we are going to try to bring the bark back and cambium back onto this layer by making sure that this area doesn't get excessively hot. And that excessively hot, as I had earlier said, is called sun scalding. So let me show you now the treatment mixture. So this is a very old-fashioned mixture used for centuries by the gardeners all over the world. So the mixture that we have here, I will show you how to prepare this. It's a very simple mixture. What you do is you take 1 pound of slack lime and you add to it 1 quart of water, and then in that you add 10 tablespoons of wheat flour, and you add about 10 tablespoons of zinc sulfate as preservative. Then let them sit and mix for a while. It could get extremely hot, so make sure it's covered up because it could bubble. But if you start in small batches, it usually doesn't pose too much of a problem. Once this mixture is ready, you can mix it up and dilute it to the consistency of like a paint, so that you can apply it on the tree. Now this mixture would typically be extremely bright white, and bright white is probably the best, but in my case, if I put bright white here, it will stand out. So I have mixed a little bit of a pigment, a dye, to make it little less white so that it doesn't stand out so much. So let me show you how I'm applying it. So I'll go onto the top and very gingerly just apply some of this. My whole effort is not basically to get an aesthetically covered up every single corner. I'm basically reducing the amount of heat that will get absorbed from the sun's ray falling onto this layer. So I'm just whitening it up a little bit. Now you might say this tree is already white because of sun's ray. Yes, it is. It is bleached out, but that's not the desired state. If you ever notice bark of a tree, it will always be dark in color. So this is not a good state to be in. So I want to provide some protection so that the tree will start to grow back its bark here. So one argument can be made that tree requires things to breathe, and that's one of the reason you should try to avoid using latex paints, because latex paint provide a barrier that will not allow the tree to breathe. However, calcium carbonate is porous. It will let the tree function as it is. It just have a very nice skin on the top of it to keep it cool. Once the whitewash has been applied, you should hopefully choose a day so that it doesn't rain within the next 2 days. Let it dry up, let it set a little bit. But after 2 days, it should be able to handle the rain directly. After some time, when you visit the tree, if you see some of the whitewash has already washed away, flaked away, then you can use that brush and that mixture again and cover up the areas that have recently become exposed or that you had left behind earlier. So a little bit of precautions when you're using whitewash for the tree. You should wear glasses because the sprays, if they land in your eyes, it will cause significant irritation and it's not good for your health. If you have prolonged exposure of whitewash in your hand, it will actually make your hand very rough, so that's not a good idea. Wear gloves. And the clothes that you wear when you whitewash, it's always a good idea to give them a gentle, nice wash to wash away all the whitewash that may have fallen on the clothes so that they're not compromised. Very quick summary of what we did. In the winters, the tree loses its canopy of leaves. As a result, the sun is directly on the tree's bark. Also, the sun tilts towards the south, and any tree that is exposed to the southern sun will significantly warm up on the bark and will cause what is commonly known as sun-scalding. That means it burns out. So what we are trying to do is we are putting a paste of whitewash, and what that will do is it will make a significant amount of sunlight reflected away from the tree and therefore keep the trunk of the tree a little bit cooler. I hope this is useful to you. We will continue to share with you any more tips that we have about growing fruit trees in your garden. And if you have any comments, any questions, feel free to post them in your in the video's comment section, and we'll be quick to respond to it. Thanks for watching.